Welcome everyone. I'm Harold Leishman with LLC Private Wealth. Today I'm sitting with my partner Julian Godo. We're going to talk about the state of the small cap market in Canada and go over some of the names that we've been following for some time and have positions in. So I guess without further ado, let's talk about the macro, which I always think is kind of the key piece. You just recently updated our sort of our macro monitor.
Yeah, so something we're always tracking is capital flows in and out of venture markets, CSE, and we think it's important to know where you're at in the cycle. And I mean, it hasn't moved barely off the bottom, so
still bottom quintile in terms of interest in these markets, despite the robust year we've had in the last year. Definitely, there's been a flight to quality, as we've sort of been talking about for some time. Companies with strong cash flow and growth and margins, the institutions have definitely come down and bid those up, which has been great because we were long early on those. So that's nice.
Yeah, and I think to contrast like the rip we had in 2021, which was a broad-based, everything's running, versus now more of a quality earnings run. So happy that we had the couple of years of no one caring to accumulate some of those names.
As hard as it was to go through that time, we will be sending that data out to our clients on the list. If you have any questions or you're not on our list but would like to receive that data, we're happy to share and discuss it. It's been a fairly active month in terms of stocks and activities. So what do you want to talk about first? I mean, Enterprise?
Why not? Yeah, so Enterprise, big bought deal, $20 million, $1.90.
Upsized to 25 million.
Upsized to 25 million, and the stock closed, I think, up. So
north of $2.
Always
north
a good
of $2. Yeah.
So yeah, that's been a story we've been on for quite some time, and in their own way look like they're probably well on their way to becoming a nice Canadian compounder. I think it was notable that the exclusivity agreement they signed was for Western Canada and didn't mention energy sites, was specifically industrial. So I think that opens the door to mining and other industries beyond just natural gas or oil sites. And
right, I do like a rental business. The margins on it are fantastic, and I forget how fast these things pay back, but it's
I think it's 40% IRR on the towers,
which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. On the microgrid, sorry.
Yeah, on the microgrid. So we'll see if they'll be able to deploy all this capital. I'm assuming they can if they've taken the money, and we'll see where it goes. What else has been happening?
One, I think on the Enterprise too, it's interesting. The next couple quarters are the seasonally strongest.
Yeah. So they did post a lousy Q3 due to the fires in northeastern BC.
Yeah.
This year, but all that work's still there. They've still got to fill that LNG facility out at Kitimat. And it's been an exciting one for us, and hopefully it continues. We'll see.
Yeah, the next one's Vital Hub, one that I think we don't lose too much sleep over these days. So a couple weeks ago, reported great results. They're up on all metrics. I think post quarter, they're up another 25% or so.
That's organic growth, right?
There's both organic growth, and then post quarter they've done a couple of those large acquisitions that'll close.
I think those acquisitions add like another 27% growth, and they still have 50 million in cash for more acquisitions.
Post all acquisitions,
and they're still kicking out, I don't know, 10 to 12 million a year in after-tax income.
Yeah.
So that flywheel for the compounder is definitely there. And it's been a great position to have for the last couple of years. It's not the cheapest name out there, but I'm happy that we're all long it.
Yeah,
at the prices we are.
And with $50 million in the bank and the 20% organic growth,
proving that they can integrate these acquisitions and grow the margins. Right. That's kind of the key for them. Is M&A is harder than it looks to make it profitable and run.
And they've proven that they can do sizable acquisitions as well now with these last few.
100%. Just to keep this super concise, I guess the last name that we're pretty keen on, or at least I'm pretty keen on, is McCoy. It's up a little bit from where we started buying it. Great earnings profile, great growth. I forget, it's like 40% earnings growth or something like that.
Yeah, and I think some of the last quarter was misunderstood in terms of the lumpiness of the business. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. I think they still did a 15 or 16 million revenue quarter. People were looking for more, I guess.
Stock was down 50%, went from 3 all the way back to 2.
Yeah, I think 257 was the low.
Right.
On the pullback, and that's whatever. I think 3, pushing 3, but the backlog continues to grow, which I think is most important. Timing of orders, a couple days earlier, a couple days later,
Right.
it becomes a great quarter, a soft quarter, and then above all, I think they're still piloting or in the process of rolling out a lot of pilots with all the technological overlays that eventually are a SaaS component, margin improvement, and you're seeing some of that, and early orders start to include some of the SaaS
Right.
platform as well.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it will transition from a purely hardware distribution multiple into the energy services sector, which is always going to be fairly modest if they can acquire some of that SaaS multiple in the future, assuming that business grows. It could be a significant lift for shareholders and people that belong it. You never know; it's always risk.
Yeah, but I mean, I
That's
will say,
part of the thesis.
as far as we followed them, they've always said that revenues are tied less to oil activity and more to people wanting to improve efficiencies and safety on rigs and well connections, and we've seen a little bit of that in terms of U.S. market. In years of big softness in activity in the U.S. market, the revenues have at least been flat to up, which I think is goes to show that what they're saying is true. So.
Right. Well, they do have that international component, which I think is less concerned with immediate oil prices. That take a little longer term in how they view the markets. All right. Well, Julian, yeah, that was a great start to your discussion. This is our first time doing this. Let us know what you think, if you found it interesting or informational. As always, you can reach us at the contact information down below. Again, my name is Harold Leishman, my partner Julian Godo with LLC Private Wealth, here talking about small cap Canadian stocks.